All right, welcome back. You're watching The Money Show on ET now. Very quickly then, let's take on board our next topic of discussion, and that is income tax. The Income Tax Department has launched yet another revamped version of its filing website. It promises to be much more swanky and, more importantly, much more user-friendly, which means that you can now go DIY when it comes to filing your income tax return. And that's really what the department's aim as well is. Some glimpses as well of the income tax website do indicate the same. So what's changed, what remains the same, and how you as well can get yourselves adjusted to the new income tax portal. We have with us Sunjit Bangar, the founder of TaxBuddy.com. Sunjit, thanks so much for joining us today on The Money Show. So yeah, start off with what are the brand new features in this new income tax portal?
Good evening, Mubina. See, in one line, it is the convergence which is income tax department is bringing into ITR filing. The new income tax portal is a convergence of various other portals and access points which user had to go to for many things like 26 years, traces, then NSDL for this the tax payment and all those things. So it is convergence. All the action points, all the data points which user need, all the pending actions which user need to know for timely compliance, and everything will be easily accessible. So conversion is the first aspect. And how the user will benefit from that? User will benefit from peace of mind, that user will be able to get refunds fast. The reason is that faster refunds or swift refunds is a function of timely compliance. And because of this new portal, the dashboard is so unique. So user will easily accessible in real time. What is my pending actions? What is my prepaid taxes? How chronologically I have earlier filed my returns? All those data points will be easily accessible. So in one line, the convergence is the uniqueness of this portal, and it will certainly be useful for taxpayers.
All right. So let's talk about the return filing process. That's one of the key reasons why a whole host of us will be logging on to the new income tax website over the next few weeks. How will the return filing experience be this time around? What will be required when an individual goes to file his or her return?
See, while filing return, there are two sort of aspects. One is the static aspect, static data points. Earlier, if we can recollect from the regular ITR filing, we used to pull the ITR website used to give us option to pull the data from our profile. Now, there are in this new income tax portal, one of the most important aspect is a Aadhar database, Aadhar API linkage. And this Aadhar API linkage is creating edge for users on two sorts in ITR filing, I am saying. So first is that for pulling the data, the Aadhar API can be used. So likewise, on the basis of Aadhar, many data points and many informations which are available in Aadhar API will come, and that will be pre-filled. Secondly, one of the most important aspect in ITR filing is that our TDS is done, we need refund. And for that, most of the times, the mistake which we do is not having PAN validated with the bank account. So what happens mostly, bank accounts have been opened at the earlier time, and when PAN number was not given to the bank, this is the case with the middle-aged taxpayers. Many times we are witnessing this, and then PAN number is not properly validated and this thing entered with the bank account, and that's why there are many issues in validation of bank account, and it delays the receipt of refund. Even if refund is determined, you will not get refund easily. So now with this new income tax portal, which I feel one of the most important feature is Aadhar API integration will do is that validation of bank account will become very easy because of Aadhar API integration. Now these are related to some static data points which user will get access to. Another major important point about ITR filing in the new income tax portal is given is that if somebody wants to do DIY, he needs to know certain aspects, so learn certain things. So if you go through the new portal, I personally like the literature which they have given. They have given ample literature on tax education. They have provided very nice short videos also for the user tax education. So that way, for we can say that a tax literacy to bring into the individuals in the taxpayers. So this is one of the very nice initiative by from a new income tax portal, which will help DIY users while filing their returns. Because if they file wrongly, it has a very serious consequences. So when we are doing DIY ITR filing, we need to be very conscious about the law position and the corresponding to our income related things. So that's why ample knowledge based, ample literature is available. So self-education is possible. And third important point is that which has been talking point for last so many months from the budget when FM has announced that pre-filled income. So what is this pre-filled income? So earlier, tax deducted at SOAR used to come a pre-filled in my ITR. Even salary income also used to come pre-filled with from 26CS and Form 16 related things. Now, the interest income will come as a pre-fill item. The capital gain on sale of shares, capital gain on sale of mutual funds, long-term, short-term, that will come as a pre-fill. Dividend related things will come as a pre-fill. So these are the many income aspects which will come as a pre-fill. So that the good point of this is that user will not miss out on this. What we have seen is that many times user miss out on certain interest. They are having two bank accounts. Some FDR is kept in some bank account. They are not aware of that thing. So many times this happens. They miss out on that and they get the notice and they get the high value transaction related queries which many taxpayers received last quarter of last financial year. So from that point of view, for filing defective return for DIY users, this pre-fill income details will certainly be useful. So in short, these are the three aspects which will come as at handy for the DIY users, and the filing experience will become smooth. We can government's purpose of increasing the tax base will certainly help with this sort of initiative.
Okay. I have a question on this entire pre-filled details bit. So the easiest part is that, the website will be pulling your details, salary earned, income earned, interest, dividend, etc., and filling it in the form. What if my numbers differ? My interest calculation, my dividend calculation, if it differs, how would it work then? Can I manually change the numbers? Is it something that I should report, through the income tax query page that you spoke about? Or do you think that this is something that you can just change and then move on?
So very valid point, Mubina, you have raised. This is going to be the most critical aspect in this journey of settling this new portal in this tax season. The query which you have raised, we have seen the glimpse of it in February, March 2021, last quarter 4 of last financial year. Many taxpayers have received SMS and notices from tax department about some high value transactions. Most of the times it has happened that the same interest which is credited into bank account has been reported twice in the income tax related portal. So that is because of some error and some reporting error which can be corrected. But this problem taxpayers may face in coming this tax season. So as of now, actually many things are ambiguous. As you know, some technical issues are also going on in the portal from yesterday. So on this aspect, department or CBDT government has not clarified on this. But it is a very much logical that if there is a difference between the income which is reported in free field and the income which I feel, for example, if my interest from Bank of Baroda is shown as a 45,000, and if my actual interest is 24,000, then in that case I should not be penalized if I know that my interest is 24,000. I feel that information is wrong. So certainly on the portal, while file this new income tax portal, there will be some option will be provided that if we are not agreeing with this figure, we can file our correct figure with the explanation. Also, at that time, what we will suggest to the taxpayers is that if the same experience, actually this experience is just in February, we have faced all these issues. So if such of issue is coming up, your income pre-filled is not matching with the income which you have worked out, and you are confident that what you have worked out is the correct income, then firstly, that option government CBDT will certainly give. One another thing which we can do is that we can write to our bank. For example, there is an interest mismatch. We should write to the bank. If there is a capital gain related some mismatch, we can write to our broker, right? So ultimately, those are the intermediaries which will be reporting the data points to the government. So if there is mismatch, we need to do two things. First, we should write to our intermediary, our stockbroker or our bank or post office deposit are there regarding this mismatch. And secondly, certainly the portal will give the option for the if we are not agreeing with that pre-filled income. But this is going to be some issue of little contention, but it will settle in due course.
Okay, well, very quickly then, let's move on to the questions and queries we have received from our viewers. And the first question is coming in from Srinivas MG. Now, he says, the finance minister says that the long-term capital gains on equities and its tax will reflect in the form 26AS. Now he's asking, what's the use? Because 26AS will be available only during filing of returns. By that time, tax with interest and fine will be accrued. LTCG and tax to be paid must be available to the taxpayer immediately after redemption. I think when he says redemption, which I assume he has equity mutual funds. So, I think he's talking about the advance tax payment, because if you don't pay advance taxes, then you will be fined and there'll be an interest or a penalty. So now we have another advance tax due date coming up. That's the 15th of June. And with the way the market has rallied, I'm sure a lot of individuals have enjoyed good capital gains. So how do you assess this capital gains, and should that income as well be considered when paying your tax, or should you wait for this form 26AS, which of course you will look at only once a year when you have to file your return?
Mubina, there are two aspects to this question. The first aspect is related to 26AS, which is very valid point, because 26 this thing earlier 26AS was there. Now if we are say this pre-filling will come, all the data will be shared with Income Tax Department by 15th of June by intermediaries. So in pre-filling also, that data will be available with the Income Tax portal after 15th of June. So it's very valid point. Till that time, if tax is not paid, interest and all those things will be accrued, and that will be a burden for the taxpayer. So, but major aspect which I will insist is that advance tax is a very beautiful thing. We all say pay as you earn in advance tax. The advance tax is like pay as you earn. We know in the month of June we have sold some shares, or we have redeemed some mutual funds. We know we have some 2 lakh rupees is the long-term capital gain has been accrued. 1 lakh is exempt. 1 lakh pay 10% is the tax. So I should immediately pay my advance tax. So best part is that whenever you have redeemed your investment, immediately within the 30 days from that day, you pay the advance tax. And that is a very good habit, because firstly, it saves on our interest. And most important, it gives us big relief, because we can manage our cash flow well. Otherwise, what happens? We keep on pending the tax payment, interest burden will pile up, and we will come for payment as a self-assessment tax before filing. Then extra interest we are paying, and secondly, our cash flow will be disturbed, because that will be unexpected outflow from our cash flow. So we should always pay advance tax in a capital gain when it is received, accrued, and we should not wait for the end of the financial year. And first point which you raised, that is valid. Before 15 June, that data. As of now, it seems it won't be available. If the intermediary related things are in real time integrated with the income tax systems, then maybe that may be the probability. But as of now, it appears those data points related to capital gain and other things will not be available in a pre-filled form before 15 June. So we should pay tax in advance, as already Mubina had suggested. That's the best course of action.
Okay, well, everyone should take note of that, all those who've really enjoyed making money in this bull run. But we are completely out of time. Sujit, we'll let you go. Thank you so much for joining us. And for now, we'll take a very short break, but be right back. Kalpesh Ashar will be joining us on how you should manage your investments in gold given the rally that we have seen in this last 1 odd month. Stay tuned.